Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight it kicks off the first of three. A quick road trip for St. Louis. We're at SunTrust Park, home to the Atlanta Braves. And tonight, game one of a three-game series. And with Jim Edmonds and Erica Weston, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Cardinals baseball. Pair of right-handers that have finally found success in the big leagues, and they square off tonight.
Yeah, they do. Two guys with a little bit of a different style. Michaelis moves the ball around, can get the velocity up there when he needs it, but really relies on location. The starter from the Braves, hard-throwing guy. Everything's going to be hard breaking ball, hard slider, and even a hard changeup, and he's had to reinvent himself too. And you can see with that ERA, he's finding something special.
Foltynewicz pitched against St. Louis on a very hot Sunday afternoon at Busch Stadium. Couldn't go deep in that game, but he was dominant. Michaelis, he hasn't lost on the road. It's the Braves. It's the Cardinals. Big series comes your way next. Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And help create a world without cancer. Register now at pedalthecause.org. It's a gorgeous night. The Cardinals and the Braves from SunTrust Park in Atlanta. It's warm, it's muggy. Jim Edmonds, Erica Weston, and Dan McLaughlin with you. Mike Shildt and the Cardinals have played very well on the road, and they did that even before the managerial change, and even better under Mike Shildt. It's a brief three-game set starting tonight. It's Carpenter, Martinez, and DeYoung, followed by Ozuna, Jerko, and Molina. Wong, Munoz gets the start in center field, Bader on the bench, and the pitcher, Miles Michaelis, is going for St. Louis in batting ninth. Going for the Atlanta Braves, Mike Foltynewicz, and he's 11-9.
hard thrower. We talked about it in the open. This guy's got 96-mile-an-hour fastball, changeup, slider, breaking ball, everything in the upper 80s except for the changeup. But be interesting to watch. Two different contrasts of styles and pitchers. I feel like you're going to get a lot of power out of this young man here, and then we're going to watch Miles in the second half of this inning. Going to try to carve his way through the lineup and move around, and then maybe try to pump some fastballs late.
Young man from Sterling, Illinois, Mike Fultonovich, grew up a Cardinals fan, and he'll get Matt Carpenter here at the top of the lineup. And Matt has been stuck on 35 home runs for a while now, batting .266, and he has driven in 77. As you mentioned, everything hard from this right-hander. Good fastball, and the first pitch is fouled back in 96. I saw you talking to Matt Carpenter in the clubhouse today before our first pitch.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit today, and actually went back down there and ran into him again. But just a nice young man. I love talking to him because it's awesome to watch him hit. It's intriguing to watch his style and how under control he is, and just his conversations are the same way too.
Very calm, not too high, not too low. I think you say the same thing about Paul DeYoung. But you look at the first 6 weeks of the season, and Carpenter did not let that get to him, and that's a credit to him.
It was really the first time that I'd had a chance to actually approach him about it. And I think it's kind of nice, I think, when players actually think that you know what you're talking about when you're talking to him. And I was watching, I said to him, it's kind of weird how at the beginning of the season you really just were hitting the ball on the nose and you weren't getting anything out of it. I said, had to drive you crazy. He said, I was doing everything I could do to not lose my mind.
And you pointed out in the game in Minnesota, a lefty-lefty matchup, and it went under the radar, and you said, Danny, that at bat right there, he's going to get out of it because of that at bat, and sure enough he did. Yeah, and that definitely will turn you around. It makes you stay in there. And then we had a conversation with Matt earlier in the year, kind of in the middle of when he was struggling again, and he had a lefty-lefty matchup that he probably could have gotten pinch hit for, but being Matt Carpenter, he didn't, doubled. And I saw him after the game, and I think it was in Denver, and he said, you know, those lefties, they'll get you straight. And it's true. It makes you concentrate, makes you keep your shoulder in there, makes you see the ball a little bit longer. And a 3-2 pitch to Carpenter is taken for a ball inside, and it's a leadoff walk. The Cardinals start play tonight tied for the final wild card spot, with 2 home series and 2 road series left to go. Acuna, Inciarte, and Markakis in the outfield. Camargo, he's been nursing a sore hammy. He's back in there at third. Dansby, Swanson at short. Albies and Freeman on the right side. Tyler Flowers is behind the plate. And Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. This is a real key guy in the final couple of weeks to try to get him going. It's not been going in the right direction. That's Jose Martinez, still hitting above 300. He checks in at 301. I feel like he's been taking a lot of pitches in the last couple of weeks. Not like him, getting himself caught behind, trying to hit from behind all the time, and that is not a way to do it here in the big leagues. Hit to the right side. And went past Freeman and out at first, and Martinez pointing back to the dugout. Certainly the Cardinals will take a look at this, as he thought he was safe. That's Pop Warner, the bench coach of the Cardinals. Played in the Cardinals minor league system, managed. And he, along with Mike Schilt, quickly have to make this decision with Chad Blair as well in the video room. Well, and you know, they really don't. Kind of at the mercy of being on the road, right? You don't know if they're going to get the replay to you quick enough, and you got to make a decision. So, and he was out. I think we mentioned that too earlier, and a couple weeks ago, where we talked about being on the road. You don't get the same timing and you don't have any control over it. So you're basically at the mercy of whatever whatever they're showing you at the time, and if it's slow, you can't make that decision fast enough. You almost have to let it go. Here's Paul DeYoung, and an RBI opportunity here. It may have gone unnoticed, but DeYoung with 38 runs batted in since the All-Star break. And that's 4th most in the National League at that time. That's a bit surprising, I'm sure, for many. And that's our GMC leaderboard. Here's a 1-0 pitch. And a strike 2 to Young. Runner at second base is Matt Carpenter. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Cardinals shortstop. Two balls and 1 strike. Cardinals coming off really, you could say, the most important win of the year. Facing a sweep at the hands of the Dodgers, and Adam Wainwright went out and was magnificent last night. Season high 9 strikeouts as DeYoung hits it to the right side, backhanded by Freeman. Foltynewicz to the bag, and advancing to third, it's Carpenter.
Well, you can see the velocity right there. 2 guys in a row getting tied up by fastballs. When it's pretty good too when you know fastball's coming and you still can't get to it. You know the velocity is there, and probably a little sneaky also.
I think Foltynewicz, something's not right with him. He went over to first base, got to the bag, and then kind of just waved off the dugout. And I'm not sure if something is wrong with him. He's very slow to get back to the pitcher's mound. Take a look here. Pretty harmless play. See right there. Kind of waves off the right there. He waved off the dugout.
Yeah, maybe have something that's been lingering for a while that he's been dealing with, that was hoping he would get past the first inning with. It's a little frustrating as a player when you are dealing with nagging injuries all the time and you just can't get over the hump. You just don't have enough time. You're out there, guys are playing every day. Even for pitchers, they're going through their workouts and they're throwing their bullpens, and sometimes that nagging injury will just linger for so long and just frustrates you.
2 balls and no strikes on Marcell Ozuna. Homered last night. His last 15 games, he has driven in 16 and homered 7 times. Guy that hits the ball so hard, and he's getting more extension. And you have to think, Jimmy, the shoulder issue that he's been dealing with, he'll get a full off season to handle that. But after the shot and once the flaring went down, extension that we talk about in his swing. Always hit the ball hard this year, but now getting a little bit more lift with it too. Well,
that ball that he hit last night, or it was last night, to right center field, that just goes to show you that he's also being able to, like you said, stay behind the ball a little bit more. He's been swinging a lot this year with 1 arm, but this goes to show you had both hands on the bat, and this just goes to show you the power. That's a line drive, home run, in the deepest part of that ballpark, and that's a big ballpark to play in.
He's had 55 hard hit outs, and that's defined as 100 miles an hour off the bat. 55. Seen a lot of ground balls, but they do find holes as hard as he hits it. Does not chase. 3-2 the count.
I like that foot is also, when it's coming down closer and closer to the plate. I know it's almost the end of the season. We'd love to see him get super hot here in the last week or two, but he might have found something, and if that's the case, it's going to be a good last week or two for him.
And it's the second walk in the inning. Walk of Carpenter, now the walk to Ozuna. And the batter will be Jed Jerko.
You can see he's a max effort pitcher, so he's going to be all over the place. And the key to that is just not chasing that fastball up. You cannot try to match power for power. You have to just try to square up a fastball in the zone and let his power supply all the power for you. But really just shorten up, put the ball in play, get a good swing on it, and then you have to be able to take pitches like that. You cannot chase.
And his off-speed stuff, batters talk about gearing up for that fastball that can hit triple digits, but it's a 131 average on anything That's a non-fastball, and that's inside.
Well, you see the velocity right there, so you have to make up your mind early. Sometimes when you do that, you don't see the ball as well, and then the spinning slider or the breaking ball, you tend not to see it as well, and then it makes it tougher to hit.
It's gone to a 1-0 count, the last 3 hitters. And now 2-0. I'm just not sure he's 100% right now. He doesn't look comfortable whatsoever. Lowest opponent average against non-fastballs, and Chris Sale, and then this right-hander. And what an opportunity here for the Cardinals in the first inning. The 2-0. Make it 3-0. Yadier Molina on deck. Just the body language. You see the shoulders are slumped. He's slow to get back to the mound.
He's frustrated with his control for sure.
Yep.
Throw that on top. But like I said, he's a max effort guy, and if your mechanics are out of whack at all, you're going to start yanking the pitch across the zone. You lose your mechanics to the side. You see pitches go in places you don't want them, and then if you miss like that in the big leagues, even at 100 miles an hour, it's going to get hit.
Interesting to turn him loose on 3-0, but you can understand why, as well as Jed hits a fastball.
Well, that's definitely an eye-opening situation right there for everyone. He just turned around the best fastball he's got. So that sometimes will tell you as a pitcher, okay, I just can't keep pumping him down the middle.
3 balls, 1 strike on Jerko. 3-2. Ozuna off with the next pitch from first base. Carpenter, your runner at third. And this will be pitch number 24 already. And that's good news for the Cardinals, because Foltynewicz went through the Cardinals easily in that first outing. And recently, the Braves bullpen has struggled. That's it out of play. This is our second visit to this ballpark. We were here in early May of last season, and at that time, some of the construction around the ballpark was not up, and the ball was flying out to right center. And they have built up a hotel over there. There's some bars and restaurants that are built up, living spaces, and the ball not flying quite as well that way. We'll do it again.
I was talking to Matt Carpenter that actually talked about that today. And he said, I asked him if this ballpark looks big from up top, and he said, yeah, but the ball carries here really well, so it doesn't play nearly as big as it looks.
Got a night game here tomorrow, and then an early start and a day game and a getaway day for the Cardinals on Wednesday. (3-2) is pulled foul, and this will be the 9th pitch coming up in this plate appearance to Jed Jerko.
It's a good at bat right here for Jed. Good inning for the Cardinals, especially with the guy that throws so hard. Make him work. It's hot out there. It's not scorching hot, but it's humid. You can see he's working up a nice sweat. This might take a little bit out of him, this long first inning.
Pitch number 27 here in the top of the first. Bases are loaded. 3 walks in the inning. After a late night and an early arrival for the Cardinals here in Dixie, you couldn't ask for a better start right now with the bases loaded and Molina coming out. For whatever reason, the Braves have struggled here at home. They've lost 12 of their last 16 home games. They began their 10-game homestand by dropping 2 of 3 to the Nationals over the weekend. And let's turn to Jim Edmonds, Toyota, key to the game.
Well, Dan, we've got a good start going so far, but when game 1, clearly it was a rough 4-game series against the Dodgers. So start over, you come to a new ballpark, a little bit of fun visiting a ballpark you don't get to see very often, and go out there and try to take game 1.
Another reason why you think that this right-hander may be struggling in terms of comfort. Came in 3 walks in his last 15 innings, 3 already here in the first. And swinging at the first pitch, which may have been a ball, it's Yadier Molina in strike 1.
I'll take that being aggressive right there, especially a slider up in the zone. I thought it was interesting, though, going through some stats and stuff. It said one of the weaknesses that he has is a fastball against righties. Guys are hitting 300 against his fastball. It's very odd for a guy who throws this hard.
Maybe it tells you it's a little straight.
Little straight.
Molina hit by the pitch, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. 3 walks, and now a hit batter, and a 1-0 St. Louis lead. He's got a left elbow pad, and it's kind of turned into the pitch a little bit right there, and already a visit for the Atlanta Braves. Chuck Hernandez.
Chuck Hernandez has been doing this a long time, Danny Mac.
Big time.
He was my very first pitching coach in the big leagues.
Good guy, too.
Yes, very good guy.
Bounced around and now found a home under Brian Snitker. Kind of a similar situation for the Braves. They had an interim tag on Brian Snitker and then took that away. He's now the everyday skipper of the club, and same can be said for the Cardinals. Here's Colton Wong, who's batting .240. Bases are loaded, and a big gap in right center. And ball 1. Three for 5 against this right-hander, Colton Wong. 1 ball and 1 strike. Foltynewicz, an ERA in 8 starts since the beginning of August. That's under 2. The Braves 4-4 in those 8 games. His ERA overall 2.66, 4th in the National League. And yet the Braves 13-15 when he's on the mound. Go figure. That ball goes against Wong, and Foltynewicz may have gotten a gift.
A big gift. That's a big situation right there for that strike. And it puts Colton Wong in a bad spot now, and especially with the weapons that this young man has, he can go to almost any pitch now.
Taking high 2-2. That's Sam Holbrook, the home plate umpire, also the crew chief. Vic Carapaz is at first, Jim Wolf at second. DJ Rayburn is down at third. The 2-2 is hit down into the corner. 2 runs at least are in. Molina on his way to third. Wong to second. And Colton comes through with the bases loaded. And it's a 3-0 St. Louis lead.
It's a big time at bat right there by Colton Wong. I mean, he's been doing such a better job the second half of this year again. He's made some really nice changes. Did a good job of not over swinging on anything, and then there you go. You get a hanging slider, and that's what you're supposed to do with it. Banging into the right field corner. Such a perfect bat right there against the hard thrower where you're just trying not to do too much, and then he finally got a pitch to hit.
All 3 walks come around to score. Now the intentional pass to Jairo Munoz, and the Cardinals will send Miles Michaelis to the plate. So 9 men at least will come to the plate here in this first inning. 3-0 St. Louis. Michaelis with a couple of home runs, and both have been on the road. In Milwaukee earlier this year and against Colorado. There's strike 1. Jimmy, you're perplexed as to why Miles is not wearing batting gloves.
Well, I was wondering if he wears them, right? And I've noticed that he came out a little late, so maybe he just wasn't expecting the quick intentional walk to Munoz. Looked like he kind of caught him off guard, and he came flying out of the dugout.
That's Free, the lefty, getting loose.
Maybe somebody could tell him that they will wait for him to put the batting gloves on.
Here's the 0-2, and a strikeout of Michaelis. First of the night for Foltynewicz. 37 pitches in the inning, and Michaelis has been given a 3-run lead. We're in Dixie, game number 1. St. Louis and Atlanta on Fox Sports Midwest. League East. Then the Cardinals, after an off day on Thursday, welcome the Giants to Busch Stadium. And the Cardinals went 2-2 against San Francisco earlier. Milwaukee first in the wild card, and then the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley to wrap up the regular season. And the Cardinals turn it over now to Miles Michaelis. A 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first, and the Cardinals could not have drawn up a better start to this ball game.
Yeah, you definitely want to give a guy like this a little bit of a cushion. Let him go out there and kind of be a little bit more comfortable. The reason why I say a guy like this is that he can be more creative and he can throw all of his pitches and move the ball around. He doesn't feel like he has to make a perfect pitch. Every time he goes out there, when it's a 0-0 game, it's a little tighter. You got to be more precise. Now he can kind of pitch around guys, move guys around, and use the pitches that he wants to use and not feel threatened at any one time. And hopefully that relaxes him and he goes out there and throws a quick couple innings.
The lineup for the Braves: Ronald Acuna Jr., Albies, and Freeman. Then Markakis, Camargo, Inciarte, Flowers, Swanson, Fultonevich. Against Miles Michaelis. Later tonight, it's the Dodgers and Rockies, so really it's like a 2-game swing. If the Cardinals can win, you're picking up ground on somebody or putting them back. And that's Gray against Ryu later tonight. Gray of the Rockies 11-7. The lefty Ryu is 4-3.
After that tough weekend against the Dodgers, these are all starting to become playoff games now when you're literally playing for every run that you can possibly push across, and then you're also scoreboard watching in a big way. And this is when it becomes all. This is when all the fun is going on the field. I mean, everyone's into the game and everyone's into everything that's going on the field.
The Cardinals under Mike Schilt 36-22. There's a look at the wild card race. So they made the change to Mike Schilt, and that's a National League best 36-22. And the count runs to a full count on Ronald Acuna Jr. This guy is some kind of talent. 25 home runs from the leadoff spot of the Braves. Hits it sharply into left field and a leadoff base hit. He's also stolen 14. The Cardinals defensively around the horn, presented by Dobbs. Marcelo Zuna in left. Jairo Munoz and his versatility in center. Jose Martinez in right. Jerko, DeYoung, Wong, and Carpenter along the infield, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Heard a lot about Acuna and Albies, Camargo, and the young talent of the Braves last few years, and now it has arrived. That pitch taken for a ball. Michaelis has been more effective at home. His ERA right around 2. 3.86 on the road, but still without a road loss. He's 8-0 away from St. Louis. 1 ball, 1 strike. He has some of the best command in baseball. Throws strikes 69% of the time. That's second best in the entire game. And I'll ask you, Jimmy, is there such a thing about being around the plate too much at this level?
Can be. Throw too many strikes, but I think that when you throw too many strikes, the one thing that separates what you're talking about as being ineffective with being around the plate too much is maybe when all your pitches are in the same miles an hour range, throwing everything too much right in the vicinity of the same speed, same location. And that's when guys don't have to guess or work too hard. Everything's kind of just right there at hitting speed. Move the ball around, up and down a little bit around the plate, but strikes, different velocities. That'll definitely give a hitter trouble.
2 balls and 1 strike. Miles Michaelis, 40th career start tonight and 30th start of the season this evening. Tied him up. I think you make a really good point. A lot of times when he gets 2 strikes on a hitter, and especially if he's ahead in the count, you'll see him elevate and you'll see 96 to 98. Changes the eye level. And the 2-2 pitch to Albies. Fly ball lifted to Ozuna. Makes the catch. Acuna back to the bag at first, and it brings in Freddie Freeman. Freeman has 1 home run since the All-Star break against a team other than the Marlins. So for whatever reason, outside of the Marlins, just not hitting the home runs. Now, we know he's a great player, great hitter. He's got 21 on the year, and he's driven in 87 and batting .304. And the first pitch taken for a ball. So cooled off a bit here in the second half.
Home run derby guy, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. You did that, and you did not like it.
I didn't like because I almost blew my shoulder off trying to swing too hard, but for some reason it has a toll on certain players.
You got a couple of guys that will be at least in the conversation among top 5, top 10 pitchers in the league. A couple of MVP candidates potentially, and Freddie Freeman and Matt Carpenter. Acuna could be the rookie of the year. Jack Flaherty will get some consideration. So 2 very talented teams going head to head.
Yeah, and I think it surprises me a little bit that this team, the Atlanta Braves, is still doing so well, because usually young teams like this that start off hot start to falter a little bit because that difference in the age gap between the younger players and the older players is the only difference usually is the experience, right? The experience to carry yourself through the full season and be able to grind it out every day. So whatever they're doing here, they figured it out, and these young players are doing a great job. And like you said, 2 talented teams. I'm excited to watch these Braves play because they're still doing a heck of a job at 83 and 66.
You say that, and then you might be able to say the same thing about the Cardinals. Young pitching staff, a rookie in center field tonight, second-year man at short. The Cardinals have gotten here, though, with a lot of youth.
A lot of youth for sure, especially that pitching staff. But for some reason, they keep bringing these guys up from AAA, and they just keep playing like it's no big deal. And that is a credit to the minor league system and everything that they teach down there.
2-2, swung on and missed, and a strikeout from Michaelis. Very good example of changing speeds here, Jimmy.
It's a good breaking ball. They took a little bit off.
Well, I asked John Mozeliak about that this morning. I said, how concerned do you get this late in the season and young guys running out of gas? And he said, not as concerned as maybe other teams or maybe from the outside looking in. He said, you have to remember, Memphis went deep in the playoffs last year. They've done
years
it again
in a row, I believe, right?
Yeah, they've done it again this year.
Well, when you're playing for something too, you hit another gear, and I think these guys know what's at stake. I don't know if you can't get going right now at this time of the year, you got something wrong with you, because you said it was nothing better in playoff baseball, and this is pretty much you're pretty much starting it right now.
And a little chopper hit to Carpenter. He'll take it, steps on the bag after a leadoff hit, fly out, strikeout, and a ground out for Miles Michaelis, and it's 3-0. The lineup, and that means Matt Carpenter, Jose Martinez, and Paul DeJong. Long first inning. Fultonevich with 37 pitches in that first inning. Carpenter walked and scored, and the first pitch taken for a ball inside. Magic number, by the way, for the Braves is 8. They have a 6.5 game lead over the Phillies. Washington 7.5 games out. And Carpenter lifts a high fly ball out to left. Acuna backing up and makes the catch. Brings in Jose Martinez. We were talking about Memphis in the bottom of the first. Congratulations to the Memphis Redbirds. Stubby Clapp and his staff, second consecutive PCL title, and they'll play in the Class AAA championship game against Durham tomorrow night. Think about this. They used a record 66 different players on their roster. 18 appeared with the Cardinals at some point or another. And from that opening day roster for Memphis, only 9 remain. And that they continue to find a way to win. That's a credit to them.
They're not just finding those guys off the street, by the way. They're having to pull them up out of AA, some out of single A. Maybe a couple guys from the draft. Whatever it takes, you got to get players to fill in those roles. I mean, what do you say about Stubby Clapp? I mean, just keeps pushing and pushing, and the organization down there, those guys are doing a great job. Although it is killing Stubby Clapp from being able to come up here and spend his month with the big league club, which normally the AAA manager will do, but I think he'll take all that success for sure.
And Stubby will be managing, my understanding, in the Arizona Fall League, not too far away. And that's hit sharply to short. Dansby Swanson with the play. Cardinals will make more than likely a roster move or two after tomorrow for guys to join the club for the stretch run. And sometimes it's just the experience of being around big leaguers and the coaching staff and seeing what happens before a game, the stadium, everything that goes into being a big league player.
Well, you want everyone, or as many people as you can, to get a good look of what the preparation is like up here, and even the coaching staff down there. Like, that's why they'll bring Stubby up, and he'll be right next to the manager, and he'll be around and find out what they're doing at this level, because you really don't want to do anything different. You want to keep everything the same, so you're teaching your players the same thing down there as they're doing up here.
And Young hits one a mile high out to shallow left. Acuna under it and makes the catch. Cardinals go 1-2-3. It'll be Camargo, Inciarte, and Flowers coming up. Wainwright, and he came through 6 innings, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. First pitcher, by the way, to have 1,000 career innings at Busch Stadium 3 in the season high 9 Ks. He was just tremendous. More on that. Let's check in with Erica.
It was a big game for Adam Wainwright, a big win for the Cardinals. 6 scoreless innings for him against a team that had put up 17 runs the night before. I had a chance to speak with Mike Maddox earlier today about Waino's start last night, and he said, in his start against Pittsburgh, I don't care how long you've been in this league, it's like your debut all over again. Yesterday was one of those big moment type of games where we need a big outing by somebody, and Adam took it upon himself. He carried us big time. It was like a storybook type game, guys.
It was amazing, and the Cardinals needed him. There's a little flare out to short, and the catch is made by Paul DeYoung off the bat of Camargo, and there's one away. Timed perfectly by the Cardinals shortstop.
So that's a tough play right there, especially can't really tell how far inside the label that ball's hit. You don't know if it's really going to carry. It's spinning. Just have to hope for the best, and yeah, you're right, he timed it perfectly.
The batter is Ender Inciarte. To put it in perspective, the Dodgers in 3 games prior to last night had 29 runs on 39 hits. So they had battered the Cardinals around in winning the first 3, and then last night only 4 hits. Jordan Hicks again sensational with a couple of scoreless innings. Carlos Martinez in the back end of the game. And it added up to a victory, and the Cardinals needed that. If they don't win, they're 2 games back in the wild card. Instead, they're tied, and now with a 3-0 lead here early on in game 1 of this series. We were talking about it on the ride over. To me, Wainwright looks a lot more fluid. He's able to get his arm back in a different position as opposed to what we saw maybe earlier this season.
Yeah, I saw him in the locker room. I didn't get a chance to ask him, but always curious to watch guys as they go deeper into their career, if they keep playing long toss and they keep stretching out their arm, or do they spend more time being more precise with their pitches, because if they lose velocity, and kind of goes hand in hand. And he looked a little bit better last night, a little more free. Velocity looked easy, and the curveball looked outstanding. And all of those things are results of maybe getting a little bit more length out of his arms and a little bit more push going forward. And definitely had the old Adam Wainwright going for him last night.
It's a base hit under the glove of Wong for Ender Inciarte, who, by the way, is 25 steals. So keep an eye on him. And now Tyler Flowers. Michaelis has 4 first pitch strikes, all called first pitches. And normally the Braves a very aggressive team early in counts. Room on the right side of the infield, and Flowers is hit by the pitch. So a single hit batter, and the 8th place hitter Dansby Swanson.
You see that 2-seam fastball running in. Sometimes the ball just keeps on running. Can't control it. Catches a seam. Really takes off sideways.
One out and runners at first and second. Dansby Swanson, remember, he started out with Arizona, traded over, first #1 overall pick that was traded that quickly, and he wound up with the Atlanta Braves. His glove has been really a standout aspect of his game. Batting .243 with 14 home runs, and he's driven in 58. 0-2 the count. To the count. They have 735 starts here in Atlanta, trying to deal with the traffic. We're in Cobb County, and the 0-2. Next year it'll shift to 720, and boy, you'll get those 15 minutes back in your life.
I was speaking to someone today underneath, and they said that we're really struggling with the traffic here, and that the 7:30 games they felt would help get more people to the ballpark, or at least get more people to the beginning of the game. I don't know. I thought most people got off at 5, so if it takes them 2.5 hours to get from downtown to the ballpark, it makes me a little nervous.
I would think you'd be concerned, and I get it. It's the summers, and it's a 7:35 start. There's no school the next day, but you know, this isn't 40 years ago where games are 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, they're 3 hours long.
School's back in session too, by the way.
And you cannot get into the parking lots around the ballpark until 5:30 here at Cobb County. So that's another aspect of the later starts. No balls and 2 strikes on Swanson. You know, 7:30, 2-hour game. You're done by 9:30, 10. Okay, I get it. But with an average that's over 3 hours, some late nights.
Well, now you know why they have food in the locker room.
There you go. That pitch kept in front by Molina, 1-2.
If we could just find out why they don't have food up here, it would be in business.
Well, our buddy Chip Carey.
Other than the fact that we got taken care of tonight.
Yeah, Chip took care of us big time. Chip, the grandson of Harry Carey, and the son of a legend here with the Atlanta Braves, Skip Carey. That's Paul Bird there on the left, and Chip Carey on the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-2. Are you a fan of the mustaches that are going around in the Cardinal rotation?
No comment. But
right.
I have to keep looking down to think of it, see if it's November or something because of the Movember mustache situation for charities. And yeah, it's quite interesting. I actually saw Miles come into the hotel today, and I had to do a double take because his hair was flying everywhere and the mustache was going, and I was like, it looks different every time I see him.
Well, if you see him without his cap on,
his hair is going crazy.
It's a mop.
It's going crazy. I love it. I can't pull that off, but I love it.
2-2 the count. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to Dansby Swanson. With the pitcher, Fultonevich, at the on-deck circle. And the 2-2. Held on to by Molina, and a strikeout. Nope, he did drop it. As Michaelis is trying to pick up his 2nd strikeout, that one maybe not real comfortable there for Yadier Molina. Molina's had some, let's just put it, rough injuries this year. One in particular.
Rough.
Hit the other way. Backing up. Martinez with the catch. And quickly back into the infield. Nice play by Jose Martinez.
Nice throw.
MLB at bat, your #1 Cardinals app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Download MLB at bat today. I say nice play. Fans are going to say, well, it's a big league, you're going to make a routine catch. I get it, but the Cardinals are pointing out little things like this. Play the game the right way. Go back, get yourself in a position to throw, make the play. And I guarantee that'll be on their video tomorrow as they talk baseball before the game. Yeah, something that Mike Schilt has done.
You're right. I like the conversation pieces that they have, and you're right. Bringing up positives just makes people realize that that's the way you have to play to be here, and the way you should play, and they don't go unnoticed. And sometimes it'll make you feel better. You know, you don't get a hit that day, and then the next day or after the game, they say, hey, you know, that play you made in the outfield, or that play you made in the hole, you know, saved our game today, or created a situation. How many times do we see it where a diving play, or even the opposite, an error, will create turmoil, right? And gives you a longer inning. All of a sudden now the guy scores and you're down. Quite the opposite for the good stuff. So it's nice to be noticed when you do something right, especially this game is so tough.
It's as shallow as you'll see Martinez playing right. Same with Munoz in right center. And it's 0-2. Braves stranded a runner back in the 1st inning. They've got runners at 1st and 3rd here in inning number 2. Foul back. Cardinals have Michaelis tonight, Gomber and Anibal Sanchez tomorrow. And then Jack Flaherty going on Wednesday. Fultonevich strikes out. Braves strand a pair. Marcell Ozuna coming up when we come back. Answer at Pedal the Cause on September 29th and 30th. Join pedalthecause.org/blues. Old Dominion bringing their best. Cardinals on the road under Mike Schultz. We talked about it overall, the best record in the National League, home or road, since Mike took over. But on the road, Cardinals 18-11. And a lot of offense. 7th best in terms of runs allowed per game at 4. More and more you're around him, Jimmy. What's your take on Mike Schultz?
I think I laugh because he's just like one of the guys. He's calm and cool, and I love the fact that he takes your questions, especially you. You come down there, you talk to him, you ask him all kinds of different things, and he just sits there, has a nice conversation with you. Like, yeah, this is no big deal. Like, just doing and you know what I feel like? He's just doing what he's always done. Not that different.
That is hit a ton down the left field line, and that ball is ruled foul. Did he hit that a ton?
You sure that was foul? That went over the foul pole, I think.
I mean, from our vantage point, we're behind home plate. It's tough to tell. Clearly, it's foul because there's not much of an argument, but holy smokes.
But that ball is going to go in the upper deck.
And the 0-1. Well, you mentioned something, and I've noticed it too, is that both hands are staying on the bat. You know, it's not just one getting to point of contact and then flying off.
There's a lot of things that you know, you don't really see or think about every day with hitting, and it just depends if you're left-handed, right-handed, right? It doesn't matter if it's your glove arm that you're having trouble with. If you're an outfielder that dives a lot, like used to tear my arm up a little bit. It was my bottom hand, so when I finished the swing, I couldn't get all the way through, and then when I let go of the bat, it hurt. If it's your throwing hand now, when you come across the zone with your hands, you can't really extend because now your throwing hand's sore, so you almost let off with the top hand, and then your bottom hand pulls the bat through the zone. And I felt like earlier in the year, and I don't know if I'm not going to make an excuse for him. I don't even know if he had a sore arm at the beginning of the year, but he was pulling the bat through the zone with that bottom hand a lot, and maybe it made sense that he was struggling this whole time with and we knew he wasn't throwing the ball well, so maybe there was something there that, you know, we talk about all the time. They're not going to tell you when they're hurt. They don't tell you a lot what's going on.
Ball gets away, and Ozuna is out.
And so sometimes there's problems in there that no one talks about. Then at the end of the year, you say, oh, well, that was why. So
you used the word that I talked about earlier, extension, and we're starting to see that. And with that, it looks like he's getting a little bit more lift on the ball too.
Well, yeah, you're able to really keep and part of it is not pulling the bat through the zone and allowing yourself to really swing through the zone and keep the bat through the zone longer. Hitting the ball the other way like that, he was behind the ball a little bit more with both hands on the bat. There's just so many different things you can do when you're getting extension, and you can start pushing the ball the other way. And you don't have to have extension. Doesn't mean full arms straight and bat out in front of the plate and pulling the ball down the line. It could be going up the middle or going the other way.
Jerko, a slow roller, left side, gloved by Camargo.
And a lot of times I think too, extension is even after the ball leaves the bat. What that does is that shows you that you're getting your bat path through the zone, and when you're being able to finish it, that's your max power, is when it's going through the zone and keeps going. Not just because the ball left the bat, you know, you don't finish your swing and cut it off, because really what happens is prior to that you're already cutting it off and you don't even realize it. So yeah, extension is key, and not the kind of extension, like I said, you're thinking about when just getting the ball out in front of the plate.
Yadier Molina looks at ball 1. 2 outs. Foltynewicz walked for the first 8 he saw. One of those intentional. And since then, he's retired 6 in a row.
Starting to throw a little bit more off-speed stuff around the plate a little bit more. Sometimes you just got to back off a little bit. Find that control. It's all about throwing as hard as you can all the time.
And Molina hits a fly ball out to shallow center. An 11-pitch inning for Foltynewicz. Top of up, and it's 3-0. Cobb County, just outside of Atlanta. Kubota Power Stats, the Major League Baseball rookie home run leaders. Ronald Acuna Jr. with 25. Then Daniel Polka, Miguel Andujar, and then Torres, also of the Yankees. It's a pretty good young talent coming into the league. That's awfully impressive with 25 home runs hit by Acuna. So the top of the lineup, Acuna, Albies, and Freeman for the Braves. 3-0 our score. The Cardinals with a hit batter with the bases loaded. That was Molina back in the first. And then Colton Wong delivered with a bases loaded double that scored 2. Outfield straight away. Third baseman Jerko in. And the first pitch at the bottom of the third. There's strike 1. It's a famous date in Cardinals history. 1941. Stan the Man debuted. Age of 22. And he went on to only 3 MVPs, 7 batting titles, and a part of 3 World Series titles. You got to St. Louis, you would see Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, Stan the Man walking around the clubhouse in spring training. Here's a 1-2. Always with a smile, always laughing, shaking hands, signing autographs for the players.
Yeah, those first couple spring trainings, I was pretty impressed. Not only am I playing with a guy like Mark McGwire, who just set the home run record and probably one of the best managers ever to be involved in the game, Tony La Russa. Got to play with great players like Dunston and Davis. And the list goes on and on. You obviously know the other guys, Pujols, Roland, pitchers that were here early, Matheny out behind the plate, but then there's Gibson and Brock and Musial, and Mike Shannon was around in the dugout a lot more then. And just, I mean, it's like, really? This it's not where I came from. It didn't happen like that. So everyone has quickly taken notice how that works, and now you're starting to see that everywhere around baseball.
Your former team, the Angels, this date, Reggie Jackson with home run number 500. Did he come around at all, or was he always with the Yankees?
He was more with the Yankees. I saw him a few times, but you know, he lived in the Newport Beach area, so I would see him from place to place and time to time away from the stadium. But everyone said Reggie was a tough man and grumpy and really hard-nosed. But man, I'll tell you what, he was so nice and polite to me. It was unbelievable. He was such a unique guy to get to know. I was talking to somebody this weekend. I spent the weekend in Nashville with my daughter for her 21st birthday and a bunch of her friends, and so it's just it's intriguing to find out what makes people click or tick, by the way, and to be that next level. And a guy like Reggie Jackson, he had to play with an edge, right? And I don't think that edge really ever left him. You know, you see Scott Rowland, we talk about him a lot, how his work ethic every day. I talked to the players down there about how he used to run after games when the lights went out on the road to keep his legs in shape. And everyone I've talked to down there on that field right now is blown away that the fact that that's how Scott did what he did. But there's something in people's brains that make them so much better than everyone else, and it's always intriguing to me of what that is. And I don't know, I just was going off on a tangent there, but Reggie Jackson was just such a hardcore, hard-nosed player. Talk about like a guy like George Brett. You know, all these guys in that era played the game with an edge. And I think it's changed, but you still, to this day, there's guys out there that are better than other guys, and there's a reason. It's whatever that's mindset, drive, talent doesn't always get you, to the end. But it is pretty amazing to get to know people like that.
Ozzie Albies at the plate, and the 3-1 lifted down the left field line and out of play. How about Adam Wainwright, for fans that don't know, and I don't think it was written about, hasn't been talked about all that much, but after his start and once the outs were recorded, he went into the workout room and got on a bike for 20+ more minutes, just to keep going and then really push.
And then the whole thing about what Scott used to run a lot of times on the road, in the dark once the lights went off, while everyone was taking a shower and eating dinner, to flush out your system. And that's kind of what Adam was doing last night. You keep the sweat going, it gets all that lactic acid out of your system, so it doesn't all just stay in your arm. Like for everybody that lifts weights and you get a good pump, right, your arms or whatever part of your body stays pumped up for an extra long period of time after you're done. And if you do that with your arm, it stays in there, and all that acid, the lactic acid, stays in your arm. And if you don't get it out of there, you'll be really sore the next day. And that's something that people don't understand, is that's another level of taking care of your body at this level, of things you have to do to be successful day in and day out.
Hit out of play again. So from 3-0, we've gone to 3-2.
Talking to Matt Carpenter about Scott Rowland running around his neighborhood in Huntley Woods on the off days, a mile, and he just looked at me and walked away. He said, I can't even imagine what that would be like.
The 3-2 pitch again. Fouled back. 96 on the gun from Michaelis. Four straight foul balls. The 3-2 pitch. Really good at bat there. One-out walk, and youth is served in the Braves' new world. Talking about Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies. We've seen a bunch of these guys. Cardinals training in Florida and the Atlanta Braves in Orlando. So you see them 3-4 times in spring, and as many know, if you're invited to big league camp, 4th, 5th inning rolls around, those young players that are AAA guys, they're going to finish up the game, and that's what we saw the last couple of years. Here's Freddie Freeman. Braves train at the Wide World of Sports in Orlando. Speaking of great managers, you talked about Tony La Russa. There's another one in Bobby Cox.
The players loved him. Everyone I ever spoke to, even J.D. Drew, said, man, this guy is something else.
Well, he would protect his players. Clearly that was evident with the amount of ejections that he had throughout his years.
And he become a good golfer too if you went to spring training as a veteran. Let those guys get out of there around 10:30, 11 o'clock.
He had 158 ejections, most all time, and he actually had 3 in postseason play. I remember well, tell me if I'm right or wrong here. Game 5, season on the line against the Astros, League Championship Series, and you got ejected at the plate, and J-Rod had to come in and pinch hit for you and hit an absolute rocket to center field. He knew he was going to get a fastball, but you got ejected, and I could not believe that an umpire would eject a player with the season on the line. I mean, you got to be awful. You got to be making a scene for that to happen. I didn't see that from you. That's a foul ball.
I simply was just questioning a strike call. It was like basically saying, this is a playoff game. You're not going to let me sit there and ask you if it's a strike or not. I think the answer was just like, oh, it's a good pitch. And I said, I'm tired of hearing it's a good pitch because it's not a strike. I don't care. You know, the worst excuse in the book is it's a good pitch. Well, you know, great pitch, but it was outside the strike zone. And I didn't go that far with it, but just threw me out. I was kind of in shock. You should be able to say anything you want without showing them up, as long as you're respectful, and I was definitely being respectful.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Freddie Freeman at the plate. And Freeman hits it a ton into right center. And this ball is gone. It's a home run. Cuts a lead to 3-2. Freeman with home run number 22. Back to the at-bat with Albies prior to that. Fouled off a lot of 3-2 pitches. Maybe set this up.
Yeah, Freddie's diving right there. He was diving hard early. The balls that he was getting on the inner half, tying him up, and then he just tried to go away there. And he went out there and got it and just smoked a line drive into right center field for a homer. That's the Freddie Freeman we know right there. Going out and getting the ball. It's out over the plate and hooking it. Not a huge home run guy, not a guy that hits long bombs, flying, high fly balls. That's his swing right there. It's really all you need.
The batter before, it was a 9-pitch at bat to Ozzie Albies, and you could see that Michaelis was really working. Couldn't put him away. Eventually the walk, and then the home run. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Nick Markakis. Slowly hit, and Michaelis to the bag. Brings in Camargo, the switch hitting third baseman who popped out to short first time up. The win last night for the Cardinals was number 82 of the year. That clinches their 11th straight season above 500. It's something that this club has only done once previously in franchise history. 11 and counting. One of our favorites right there, Willie McGee. Pete Prenzi on the right, longtime strength and conditioning coach. And a ball and a strike on Camargo. If you're wondering about the back end of the game tonight, I asked Mike Schilt. Bud Norris dealing with a blister. He said he would have to wait until they played catch prior to the first pitch, and they'll do that sometimes very close to the first pitch. And with Jordan Hicks, same thing. 2 innings last night. We'll see how he feels. Carlos Martinez had an uneventful 9th inning. The Cardinals salvaged the game. 30 pitches here in the bottom of the 3rd. We're down in the clubhouse, and you can just sense it. the excitement around the club 2 weeks to go. Light at the end of the tunnel, and knowing that you have a chance. That's it out of play.
A lot of new and young faces down there.
2-2, pulled the foul. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up. It's Eric Young down there, the first base coach.
You know, when you run the wrong way, that ball chases you, right? The ball's hooking. He started. Woo-wee. He used to be faster than that.
Held on to by Molina and a strikeout. 2 in the inning, 4 in the game for Miles Michaelis, and it's 3-2. Bases loaded, Colton Wong. He would drive in a pair. That made it 3-0 at the time, and now it's a 3-2 Cardinals lead. So Wong, Munoz, and Michaelis 7, 8, and 9 here in the top of the 4th. You almost get the feeling as if the Cardinals let Foltynewicz off the hook. 4 walks of the first 8 batters. And since then, 7 in a row. That's a ball inside and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. He struck out 2 and walked 4, 1 intentional. It was to the point that in the first inning, a lefty, Fried, was up and throwing for the Braves in their bullpen. Now, from the Braves' perspective, you've just gotten 2 back, and you want to see Foltynewicz have a shutdown inning.
You definitely have to have a shutdown inning if you're out there now on the mound for the Braves.
That's hit out to deep right field, and goodbye. Colton Wong with a double, and now a solo home run. And he's driven in 3 of the 4 tonight for St. Louis.
And there goes your hope for a shutdown inning right there, Danny.
Right fielder Nick Markakis barely moved.
Good short swing, little cutter. Hammered.
And it's 9 home runs for Kolten Wong. Little chopper hit to the right side by Munoz. First out here in the top of the 4th. And the batter will be Miles Michaelis. Just saw a shot there of Harrison Bader, and fans may want to know why he's not in the lineup. And Mike Schultz said, hey, we're just giving him a day. May see him pinch run, come in defensively late, could pinch hit, but no worries, just giving him a day. So that's why Munoz is at center field tonight. The strike to Michaelis, who struck out with the bases loaded. And using batting gloves in this plate appearance.
A little bit more time to prepare. I'm sure most pitchers come out of the bullpen to from being on the road and not expecting to hit the first inning.
And the 0-2. Pulled foul.
And that was close.
Not reviewable until it's past the umpire. And at that point it is. Once it's to the outfield past the umpire. And Michaelis pops it up. Catch made by Swanson. And with that, Matt Carpenter coming up. Kindergarten through 5th grade teachers sign up now for the free Fred Bird and Friends elementary school program. It's presented by Fox Sports Midwest. Program led by Fred Bird and a Cardinal celebrity, anchored by an in-school assembly highlighting the importance of teamwork. Cardinals.com/school program for details. Carpenter walked and scored back in the 1st and flied out to left. Hits it the other way. This ball sinking, and it'll be caught. Acuna with the catch. Home run hit by Kolten Wong, his 9th of the year. He's driven in 3. He has a bases loaded double and this solo home run. And the Cardinals on top. It's 4-2 midway through 4. Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. One of the many statues here at SunTrust Park, and that was Henry Aaron. 755 home runs, 733 of those with the Braves. Ender Inciarte singled his first time up. Foltynewicz, by the way, 14 strikeouts away coming into play tonight from 200. And he's got 2 tonight, so that's been a key for the Cardinals. You think about the Cardinals putting the ball in play or grinding through at bats, meaning walks, and they've done that a little bit better tonight, did it better last night as well.
I mean, you got a guy who's erratic. You definitely have to take pitches when you get the opportunity. When it presents itself, you know, you got to be aggressive in the strike zone. And you're right, you can't get behind in the count by taking pitches, but yet you can't just go up there and swing at whatever either. So it is a fine line to being a good hitter and a good team hitting. And, you know, battling against a good pitcher is the way you get him out of there and the way you get him to throw a lot of pitches, and everybody gets to see more pitches.
Long will put that away, and that's out number 1. Our Kia drive to success, Miles Michaelis, talking about strikeouts. You also talk about pitching to contact, something that Dave Duncan always used to preach. Pitch to contact. Use a 2-seamer, get sink. Second highest strike percentage, and then the third lowest swing and miss percentage, 19.1. I find it a little surprising. The Braves moved to Atlanta, some folks will recall, 1966. And only 5 different pitchers have reached 200 strikeouts. Only 5. Thought there might be more. Smoltz did it 5 times.
It was Smoltz 5 times.
Phil Negro. Vasquez did it once. Kevin Millwood once. Greg Maddux only once. No Tom Glavine. And Maddux only once.
Tom Glavine wasn't much of a strikeout pitcher, but as good as he was, a lot of ground balls, a lot of weak infield ground balls, and a lot of pop-ups.
There's Tyler Flowers.
Just goes to show you, though, you got guys like that be in the Hall of Fame and get away with not having a strikeout stuff.
Flowers hit by a pitch first time. Pops it up. Out of play. 335 down the left field line, 325 in right field. The wall, though, in right is elevated. 400 to dead center. Second year in this ballpark after moving from Turner Field.
It's a beautiful park. You say?
Yeah, I think it's great. And the surrounding areas, what they've done.
Getting better every day.
It was Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Cardinals were there when the fire hit. They just acquired Fred McGriff. 3-2 pitch and a ground ball again to Colton Wong. Out number 2. And the 8th place hitter, Dansby Swanson. It has not been an easy go right now for Miles Michaelis. You know, he's had to throw a lot of pitches to get to this point in the game. He's at 85. What can help him, though, is you get the 8th place hitter. Pitcher starts out
next inning.
Yeah, and it becomes a little easier to get through 5, which may only be it tonight on a hot night late in the season.
A lot of pitches early. You're right.
Yeah.
Could be a short outing for him. Kind of the opposite of what you were talking about, especially with maybe the closer role being in question. Although I think Carlos Martinez, with only throwing 8 pitches yesterday and not pitching for a few days before that, should be pretty fresh. But you got a lot of guys down there that haven't thrown in a couple days, so bullpen shouldn't be an issue tonight.
One of Michaelis's 4 losses this year was to the Braves. Really a lack of run support. Cardinals lost 5-1. He went into the 7th and allowed just 1 run, but the Cardinals offense was quiet that night. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Hey, what's amazing is just not even being around to watch the games as much, but knowing what happened with the Dodgers series. There's not a lot of, I mean, Mike Schilt did a good job with that bullpen as far as saving some arms. There's not a whole lot of guys that have multiple outings in the last 3 days. And that's important too. I mean, that's part of managing, right? You never know what's going to happen day in and day out. You just can't go out there and throw guys just because one guy's struggling a little bit. You just can't go get another guy and then another guy and another guy. You got to have some backups for future games. And kind of surprised to see that he did a good job on that. And there's a lot of guys available, or what we think would be available for tonight.
Called 3rd strike. 5th strikeout from Michaelis. And he enjoys his first 1-2-3 inning. 4-2 as we head to the 5th. Urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today by going to redcross.org or text Florence to 90999. Give $10 to the American Red Cross Hurricane Relief. Strike on Jose Martinez. 2, 3, and 4. Martinez, DeYoung, and Ozuna. Braves are giving away free tickets over the weekend for those that left the Carolinas and came to Georgia to get out of the path of the storm. A ball and a strike on Jose Martinez. And he hits it out to deep right field at the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. And backing up wisely, Inciarte. It's a double for Jose Martinez. You have to back up on plays to right field. We saw that last year because the wall, it's chain link then there's a little bit of padding, and it hits off the brick, and you're not sure where it's going to go, but you know it's going hard.
Yeah, it's a good job by Inciarte to run over there, sprint over there, knowing that that ball could carry him over Markakis' head, and it sure did. You're right, that is a tough, because you're kind of watching that to see where it's going to land. 6 inches one way or the other, the ball dies and drops straight down or bounces back over your head.
RBI opportunity for DeYoung. And looks at a pitch high. Miles Michaelis is at 90 pitches. Foltynewicz at 72 after a rough start. 2-0. This time of year, you'll see managers go to their bullpen very quickly. Plenty of arms, you would think, with rosters expanded in September and the games meaning so much. A lot of times you can't ride out a starter waiting for him to get right. 2-1. That was Martinez's first extra base hit since August 28th. It was a home run hit against Pittsburgh. Two-one pitch. In the air. Left center. Track. Wall. Goodbye. It's a home run and a two-run shot for Paul DeYoung.
Look at all those Cardinal fans, Danny. Tell you what, there he goes. Nice and easy approach. Squares it up, and he knows he got it.
It's now 40 driven in since the break for Paul DeYoung. And Ozuna hits a high fly ball out to deep right. Near the wall, and it is off the top of the wall. Ozuna to second base. And Albies and Inciarte going out to back that up. Off the brick wall in right. So this inning a double, two-run homer, and now a double.
Tell you what, he just missed this ball too. Look how much this ball carries. A backspin on it. Stayed inside it. You see the pitcher, he doesn't know whether to watch it, if it's going to be an out or if it can carry out of the ballpark.
He's had that reaction. The first three hitters of this inning, 6-2 Cardinals. And now Jed Jerko. Sam Freeman is up in the Braves pen, the former Cardinal. And ball one to Jed Jerko. Walked and scored back in the first and also grounded in third. DeYoung now is homered in 3 straight against the Atlanta Braves. And the 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a 1-2. And it's spoiled by Jed Jerko. 6 earned given up by Foltynewicz, and that's the most he's given up all year long. Runner at second is Marcell Ozuna. And the 1-2 pitch to Jerko. Put in play, slowly hit. Swanson over to first. And advancing Marcell Ozuna to third base, and now the Braves have to play the infield in more than likely. In steps Yadier Molina. Hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. That brought in a run back in the first inning. Also fly to center, and the infield is in for the Atlanta Braves.
All Yachty needs to do is just look for a pitch out over the plate. Just try to drive a lazy fly ball into right field. And worry about that infield.
Foltynewicz was selected by Houston originally, 2010, 19th overall pick. Acquired by the Braves in the Evan Gattis deal. A ball and a strike. Infield in, outfield straight away for Yadier Molina. The Cardinals leading 6-2 here in the top of 5. And the 1-1. Yadi trying to do exactly what you're talking about. Hit that fly ball, elevated into right field. One ball and 2 strikes. It's one of those times too where you can see a pitcher try to overthrow. Off-speed pitch, puts it in the dirt, run scores from third base.
Or he hangs it and he hits it out over the 385 sign. That would be way much more fun.
Yeah, that could happen too.
Ball like that. Tried to hang it.
After tonight, 11 games to play. The 2-2. Hit sharply to Freeman. He'll throw to the plate, and Ozuna is tagged out.
For those of you
out.
Scoring at home.
3-2-5.
3-2-5.
'87 pitches. Foltynewicz, his night is through. Brian Snitker goes to his pen. Sam Freeman will face Colton Wong. And Wong already a big night. He's driven in 3 with a bases loaded double and a home run. Colton coming up when we come back. think alive and kicking. Colton Wong coming up to face Sam Freeman. Back in the fourth inning, our Nissan drive of the game. And going home run hit by the Cardinals' second baseman. And for Wong, his 7th of the year. He comes up with 2 outs, and Yadier Molina, the runner at first base. Sam Freeman, the former Cardinal. And this is our Chevy call to the pen. Appearance number 60 for Sam. One of the issues for Sam Freeman in St. Louis was just throwing strikes. Never a question about athleticism, stuff. He's got a good fastball, but could he throw strikes? And this year he's walked 31 in 48 innings.
Talked about that early on with max effort guys, and it makes it tough when you have to come in and you feel like you have to overthrow to get guys out. Very hard to keep your control that way.
And a low strike going Sam's way. The Braves 5-23 when their starter does not go 5 full innings. We'll see if that continues tonight. And Wong sends one to center field. Inciarte with the catch. Cardinals a big inning. They pick up 2. They add to their lead. This shot off the bat of ball to Young. Home run number 18, and the Cardinals have the lead here in Atlanta in Game 1. EJC Healthcare difference maker thus far. Michaelis through 4 innings has struck out 5. The pitch count though has been high. Hasn't been easy tonight, but the Cardinals do have a 6-2 lead. 90 pitches to get through 4. Rio Ruiz is the pinch hitter for the Atlanta Braves. And the first pitch is strike. 0-2. Rio Ruiz, very happy in that picture.
Very young.
And now he strikes out on 3 pitches. So the strikeout number 6 tonight. And that's back-to-back Ks from the bottom of the 4th to start the top of 5. And now we go to the top of the lineup. Well, I think it's interesting. If you could have a quick inning, do you want to extend Miles Michaelis? Now, his spot is due up second. You don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse, but you get the idea. You're not sure about the back end of your bullpen. We'll see what direction that Mike Schill wants to go. And a base hit into center field. Luke Jackson is throwing in the Atlanta pen. And sometimes those decisions are made for you.
Sometimes you have to sit around and wait. Yeah, you never know. The inning might not go as planned. And
exactly.
Cardinals have a left-hander thrown in their bullpen, so clearly every angle being thought about right now.
Sam Freeman went 1/3 of an inning and retired the only man that he saw. Fly ball to Marcell Ozuna. Two outs in this 6-2 ball game. Celebrate the Memphis Redbirds 2017 PCL Championship at Busch Stadium. That's Wednesday, September 26th. Purchase of a special theme ticket. Fans will take home a replica of the 2017 PCL Championship ring. Tickets at cardinals.com/theme. Here's Freddie Freeman. Tyler Webb throwing in the Cardinals pen.
That's the pitch I was talking about right there. Early on in his last at bat, you can see Freddie Freeman likes to dive, especially when he's struggling a little bit. Guys tend to dive a little bit more, and then I think Miles ran out of ideas and tried to throw him a nice fastball away, see if he'd roll over, and he went out and dove out over the plate and hammered it.
And a fly ball to Munoz in center. 96 pitches tonight for Michaelis, due up second. We head to the 6th, and it's 6-2. Cardinals with the lead here in game 1. Cardinals have the lead. Michaelis, his spot due up second. 5 innings thus far. Wong 2 for 3, big night. Fultonevich could not get through 5, and Freeman 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. It's Munoz, then spot occupied by Michaelis and Matt Carpenter. Luke Jackson is the new pitcher in for the Atlanta Braves. Cardinals with Greg Garcia moving to the on-deck circle. Signed as a minor league free agent, his 4th stint with Atlanta this year, Luke Jackson. DFA'd, then outrighted to Gwinnett. And the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's given up 20 hits, 11 runs his last 13 games. High strike on Munoz, and it's 1-2. May have been a bit outside as well. Munoz chops it left side, hustling down the line. Tough play, and nicely done there by Camargo. It's not an easy play at all.
Emptied your digital wallet? We understand. Great Southern Bank. We're fans too.
Greg Garcia, the batter. So that's going to be it for Miles Michaelis. Gives the Cardinals 5 innings tonight, and Garcia hits it to the third baseman Camargo, and he makes the play. And there's 2 down, and the batter will be Matt Carpenter. Off the heel of the glove, it looked like. And there's 2 away. Tyler Webb getting loose. You have Markakis hits from the left side, turnaround Camargo, and then another lefty in Inciarte. Is the importance of Tyler Webb and his role is continued to grow down the stretch. Strike 1 on Carpenter. Walked and scored. Inning number 1. Twice his flight out to left. Michaelis 5 innings. 4 hits, couple of runs, both earned on the home run hit by Freeman. Struck out 6 and walked 1. Month by month, and still looking for that first home run here in September. It's a ground ball. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. 6-2 our score. 2 are scored. Tyler Webb, 18 appearances. And he'll have a couple of lefties due up in Markakis and Inciarte. Sandwiched in between is the switch hitter Camargo. Markakis is grounded to first and also grounded back to the pitcher. So the Cardinals, the bullpen, will try to get the final 12 outs of the game and make Michaelis a winner. First pitch is strike 2, Markakis. This guy has been the definition of what they say a professional hitter. Over 2,000 hits in the lineup every single day. Quality at bats. Falls behind here now, 0-2. Number of seasons with the Orioles, and then signed as Atlanta was rebuilding. It was kind of a curious signing with all the young players they knew they had coming, but they also knew first couple of years of that deal, team was probably not going to be very good. But they wanted a veteran presence and felt that this year and next they would have a chance to win. That's been the case as Markakis hits it the other way and Ozuna makes the catch.
Another thing with Markakis too, you're right, he's been a great player for a long time. 13 years in the big leagues now. His first All-Star game this year.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Good for him.
Here's Camargo. Left side of the plate, 272. This side, 279. This the lesser side for his power. He's got 18 home runs and 11 coming from the other side of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes.
A little bit of a free swinger on both sides of the plate.
No time cold. Wait till you see this next promo I'm going to show you, Jimmy. You're going to like it. You're going to need it. Here's a 1-2 pitch into center field and a base hit. Jim Edmonds will be updating his winter wardrobe on September 23rd. 30,000 fans take that home. Winter flaps, courtesy of Cooper Tires. Cardinals.com/promotions.
That is something special right there.
That's all you, my man. Guy from Southern California now calls St. Louis home and has the perfect hat.
What do you call that thing?
For winter.
Whoops, we got to go backwards.
It's an adult winter hat with flaps.
Flap hat.
Keeps your ears warm, cheeks.
That way when you go out in the winter you can stick your tongue on the flagpole.
Don't do that.
What was that movie? Kid had Christmas Story.
Christmas Story.
Kid had that hat on, I think.
He did.
Except it didn't have the STL on it. Just another happy customer out there with a souvenir. See that?
I did. Oh, and 2 the count.
Tell you what, Webb looks like he could be tough on some lefties. Not afraid to throw the ball inside. That sweeping breaking ball.
Mike Schild has also shown that, and he may go back to his bullpen. Doesn't look like it in this case, even if Inciarte gets aboard. And we're going to find out here, but he will stick with his relievers at times, and that's misplayed by Munoz, and that eliminates the potential of a double play. Second and third now with one out. That's a big misplay at center field.
Yeah, that's just lack of being out there, maybe being a little over aggressive. Looked up, get a good shot of this. You'll actually see him probably look up right before he catches the ball to check and see where the runner is. And ideally, and you can see it right there, ideally you'd like to take a look at this before you get to the ball. Look at his eyes, looking for the runner. The thing you want to do there is when you're running for that ball, you want to peek to see how hard the runner is actually running from first to second base, and that'll give you a chance to catch the ball cleanly and throw the ball in.
And the Cardinals taking no chances, so Hudson coming in, 6-2. Number, and then the day game for Jack Flaherty. I want to remind folks that if you have a ticket for Saturday with the Giants coming to St. Louis, there's our Chevy call to the pen. That was originally scheduled for a 6 o'clock game. It's a 12:05 game on Saturday this weekend. So if you have a ticket, you know somebody that's got tickets, make sure they know it's a noon start, 12:05 at the ballpark this weekend, Saturday at Busch Stadium. Here's Tyler Flowers to face Dakota Hudson. It's a situation with the misplay in center. Instead of having that ground ball double play, now you're in a little bit of a jam in this particular spot. Here's a 1-0. Throws a heavy sinker, breaking pitch, good fastball, good stuff. Hudson, the PCL pitcher of the year. Dan Winkler getting loose in the Atlanta pen. 1-2.
That sinker is on the mind of the hitters. Definitely makes that slider a lot more devastating. So especially as a right-hander, you're worried about that sinker coming down and in on your hands, fouling off your shins, trying to get out in front of it. You almost start to lose track of where the slider is going to end up.
And the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. catcher with the White Sox, has found a home here with the Atlanta Braves. And the next by Dakota Hudson. Center field, Munoz will make the catch. His throw into third base. Offline, gets away, and another run will score. Boy, oh boy, that can't happen there.
Like I said, it's just a lack of playing time out there in center field. It's tough. It's not as easy as it looks, and isn't anything to do with just being out there playing center field. It has to do a lot to do with making the right decisions.
His second error in this inning.
The ball's got to go somewhere where it can be caught. The ball might have sailed on him a little bit. It looked like it kind of took off on him. Caught some seams because you can see no one can even react to it.
Well, I got a question why Hudson is backing at home plate, not third.
There's a couple guys out there out of position, but sometimes it's going to happen.
I mean, he's not going to get the runner from third to the plate. You're going to get the runner if he has a chance at third base.
That ball probably shouldn't even be thrown right there, but that's just, like I said, experience.
So a couple of runs scored for the Atlanta Braves. We head to the seventh, and it's 6-4. % MLB verified tickets up until the first pitch. Sell your extras to another fan. Get the StubHub app today. StubHub, official partner of your St. Louis Cardinals. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. And I have no idea who Jose Martinez is just talking to.
Himself.
(6-4) our score. And this first pitch is strike to Jose Martinez, who is doubled tonight and scored on the home run hit by Paul DeYoung. 1 for 3 on the night. One ball and one strike.
I'd like to put a pedometer on him. What do they call the pedometer? Like we can do his how many steps he takes in a day. It's all over the place when he's in the box.
He's jumping all over the place. Missed in, and it's 2-2.
You know, it's funny because you can see when he's more animated, he's locked in.
Yep. He's confident.
He was struggling a couple weeks ago, a little bit at home. He was super quiet, wasn't swinging a lot of pitches. Starting to get that feeling again.
Tough night for Munoz right now in center field. Cardinals hoping they can tack on some insurance here. 6-4, 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th.
I think that's a big ask for that young man to send him out in center field. You never know what's going to happen out there, and just like I said, there's so many things that can go wrong so fast. Every position's got its own quirks, right? You have things, your responsibilities. Go in the corner, outfielders have to play that carom off the wall, down in the corners. First baseman, you got to be a cutoff man. You know, shortstop and second baseman are pretty obvious. How got to be one of the best athletes on the field. I mean, there's just so many things to think about in every position, and anytime you can get exposed, not playing that position very often, it seems to happen.
And the thing I've noticed too with Martinez is we've talked a lot about his front leg, and I started seeing it 2 weeks ago to where his front leg was almost out of the batter's box. He's moved it in ever so slightly. I'd say maybe a good 4 to 6 inches. Normally his leg recently would be touching that line, and he pulls that foul.
That's when you start to get uncomfortable and you don't want the ball inside. I'll tell you what, we've talked about this all year about the fastball inside. It does something different to everyone, and you really don't want to be forced to have to hit that ball. And so you start to move, and then you start to chase it. It changes everyone. That's why it's such an effective pitch.
9th pitch of the at-bat right here. Finally got a fastball. It's been breaking ball after breaking ball here to Martinez.
Pretty good swing so far, too.
So if he makes it on, the Cardinals do have Bader on the bench. You could see him getting pinch run for with Bader. Bader stays in the game, goes to center. You could make the move quietly that way.
I think you're right. I was trying to think of something to say to make that, you know, I think you really have to go sit him down and just be saying, hey, like, relax. Tough play, you know, you got to make sure you concentrate on catching the ball first. And it's pretty simple. He made 2 of the probably the most routine errors that a young outfielder is going to make, right? You get in a situation where you think guys are going to try to take extra bases on you, and that's where they all come. Comes with the glove and throwing arm, trying to show off your throwing arm when it's unnecessary, which it was necessary for him to make a good throw in there, but maybe not to overthrow it and airmail it. Might have ran on him a little bit, and then just a simple mistake on lifting up your head on a ground ball when he really didn't need to. And it's just, those are the tricks of the trade, you know, checking out the runner before he gets to second base or before you get to the ball, so you're really not having to worry about anything else but catching the ball. What's the old saying? Just catch it.
That's right.
The other thing is, too, you got to catch it before you can throw it.
Nothing at 2 the count on Paul DeYoung. 1 for 3 tonight. So he popped his 18th home run. Hits it out to deep left again. And that'll be a ground rule double. His 2nd hit of the night. And Paul DeYoung is 2 for 4.
Good look at him going after a breaking ball, middle down, and just stays with it. It's a good swing right there. You see the pitcher's reaction as soon as he swung at it. Just didn't get it down enough.
This guy throws a lot of breaking balls. A lot. Hang one, and all of a sudden Ozuna makes it a 4-run lead again.
Which I think that Munoz would be really excited about.
Oh, yeah. .95 with the fastball outside. And the 1-0. Taken high. 2 balls and no strikes. Jackson, his spot is due up first, and then the top of the lineup, Acuna and Albies. In his second inning. Hit down the right field line and out of play. Monday pitch arsenal, the fastball, slider, and curve. Two-one pitch to Marcell Ozuna. In the dirt, picked by Flowers. 3-1. Well, you know that Ozuna is pretty locked in. First base open. Jerko at the on-deck circle. Does he get a pitch to hit here? Three-one. 3-2 off speed.
It's a good pitch right there. You can see Ozuna not even thinking off speed. That's a good job right there, though, right? You're looking fastball. You're locked in. You see the spin coming out of the hand, and you just stop. Don't try to do too much. Get yourself another pitch to work with.
Fights it off and out of play. And a nice play made by a fan. Not sure if Jackson thought he might make a play on that. Cardinals have led from the onset of this one and trying to add on. The 3-2 pitch. And he walked him.
Bought enough food for the entire section? We understand. Great Southern Bank. We're fans too.
Runners at first and second. Jed Jerko. Jerko's due for one of those, I mean, just long, ambushed pitches. Home run. That's how I describe some of the home runs that he hits. He just ambushes it.
Couple walks, long at bat. Pitcher's trying to get ahead and pow. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Gets a fastball, guesses right, and just jumps on it. Left side, out there, and nearly threw it into center field. And a nice play made by Albies. And DeYoung staying put at third base. If he rounds hard, that would have been interesting to see if he could have scored.
Would have been way more interesting. We didn't have that dumb rule.
It doesn't help that Ozuna was grabbing his left leg.
Holding him down.
Watch.
Then he looked over his shoulder like, wait, there's a guy in third, I think.
Here's Yadier Molina. And you know, Yadi would love to atone for his previous at bat. Infield drawn in, runner at third, only one out. That was Ozuna. It turned out to be a 3-2-5 putout. First pitch is strike. 0-1 pitch. Nothing in 2. One ball and 2 strikes. Molina with a fly ball out to shallow center, and the catch is made. Cardinals strand a pair. We are midway through 7. 6-4 here in Atlanta.
Atlanta, 2 strong scoreless innings for Jordan Hicks last night as he followed 6 brilliant innings from Adam Wainwright in the Cardinals' their big win. Big win last night over the Dodgers. I spoke with Jordan Hicks before today's game. He said these are the games that you live for. So it was really fun to be a part of it. As far as his performance last night, he said he was just trying to attack against these guys. He said it felt like they didn't think he could throw strikes, but he hadn't pitched in 7 days heading into last night's game. I asked him if it was a fine line between maybe feeling a little bit rusty, but also needing the rest. He said it's good to get a day, but it was 6 days rest, and I was ready to get back in there, guys. He turned up a big performance in that big win for the Cardinals last night.
All right, Erica, thank you. We'll see how the final 9 outs progress for the Cardinals in their pen. It's a 2-run lead. Bader now in center field. Munoz shifting from center field to right. Preston Tucker, the pinch hitter. Hits one out to left. Ozuna in the corner with just enough room to make the catch. The crowd tonight at 24,304. 24304. Brewers have an 8-0 lead against the Cincinnati Reds. And in that ballgame, Christian Yelich is hit for his 2nd cycle of the year. It's going to be hard to keep him off the watch of MVP. He's had a terrific year for the Brewers. And the top of the lineup, Ronald Acuna. This should be 2 quick outs. Popped up on the infield. And Jed Jerko puts it away for the out.
Got a pop 5/6 for those that are scoring at home.
That's for me, it's a 5, Jimmy, and I just remember.
No notes needed.
No, sir. Carlos Martinez, the Cardinals closer, stretching. And again, we just weren't sure about Bud Norris or Hicks tonight. We'll see how it plays out. The 1-0 pitch to Ozzie Albies. I mean, right now, this is only 13 pitches for Dakota Hudson. His spot due up third for the Cardinals.
I mean, you know, Martinez can go 2 innings.
Sure.
He's only, like I said earlier, he only threw 8 pitches last night. I would be shocked to see Jordan Hicks in this game after 34 pitches yesterday.
Lined into shallow left and a base hit. And with that, the tying run comes to the plate.
That's also one of those things that you talk about when you only know when you're inside that locker room. As you look at this, nice job of just hitting the ball the other way, not trying to do too much. Unless you're in that locker room, you don't know what the pitch limit is for a guy like Jordan Hicks to make him be able to go back-to-back, or how he actually feels after throwing 35 pitches.
Freddie Freeman now. He's homered tonight. A 2-run homer. And he hits it out to left. It's slicing towards the line and foul. Home run back in the third. Powered by StatCast AI, which is powered by AWS. Run for Freddie Freeman, number 22 this year. He's closing in on the century mark and runs batted in. He now has 89. So the runner at first, good speed, and Ozzie Albies. And an 0-1 pitch upcoming here from Hudson. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two strikes, 1 and 2.
You got to be careful with that pitch. That's almost the same pitch that he hit for a homer. You can see how he covers the outside of that plate. He really gets out over the plate, and that ball that's on the outer half, outer edge, is almost for the down the middle for him. Watch where he ends up after he steps, swings. This is where they want to go, right here, down and in, get underneath him. Got to make that pitch, especially to good big league hitters. When they have one spot that they're weak in, or a spot that they're vulnerable, you have to try and make that pitch. And if you can't make that pitch and you don't want to go to it 2 times in a row because he's a good hitter, that's when you get exposed and you go back to the outside where that's his strong suit.
Up the middle on a base hit. Looked to be through the legs of Dakota Hudson, and now the tying runs are aboard. The go-ahead run comes to the plate.
98-mile-an-hour fastball down. See, he still gets the barrel on it. It's right up the middle between Hudson's legs.
22 for 66 in this spot. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Nick Markakis. So this game's got real interesting. We're in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs and 2 on. Markakis. Pair of ground outs and a fly out tonight. Atlanta 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position this evening. And the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 way inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Mike Maddox on the phone. Markakis with runners on base this year at .341 average. We talked about before, he's been a terrific hitter in his career. And one of his best seasons that he's put together here in 2018. Camargo, the switch hitter, is at the on-deck circle. John Brebbia starting to throw in the Cardinal pen. Ground ball that rolls foul. It's the 6th time the Atlanta batters have had a full count in this game. And Hudson put him away. They're off with the pitch. The 3-2 hit out to deep right. Fair ball off the wall, taken by Munoz. The throw to the plate is a strong one, and Freeman is held up at third. Munoz played that one perfectly and got it back in quickly. The question now, should the Braves have sent the runner and taken that chance? He was offered the pitch. It doesn't score.
See the strong arm right here. And you're right, throws off line, but didn't get a good look at the way he was running around third.
Boy, I don't know. I mean, Jimmy, you're starting on a 3-2 pitch from first base. You're going to get a great jump. Now, he did hit a rope. Munoz did play it well. But with 2 outs, do you take that chance and try to tie it up? Braves say no, and now they go with Camargo. It's Ron Washington, who was the manager in 2011 of the Texas Rangers when the Cardinals won that dramatic World Series. Long-time baseball man.
Yep.
Second and third with 2 down. And strike 1. This stretch run of the Cardinals, nothing has been easy. hits it down the right field line and foul.
What this pitch is designed to do is to end up off the plate. The only thing you can do with it is that right there and pull it way foul. Looks nice off the bat, but does absolutely no good.
Oh-2 pitch, up and in. Pitches, and you wonder right now if he's just running on fumes a little bit. He's pitched 25 or more pitches in only 3 appearances this season. Got him, a strikeout for Hudson. Got him to chase out of the strike zone. And the Cardinals stay on top by a run. It's a nail biter again, 6-5. Jesse Biddle, big kid, 6'5", 220-pounder. 55th relief appearance for Atlanta. And the second lowest ERA by a left-handed rookie reliever in franchise history. The best was Johnny Venters. So here's Colton Wong to lead it off. Wong has had a big night for St. Louis. A double with the bases loaded back in the first, a solo home run in the fourth. He's driven in 3. And Jimmy, it very well could be a 2-inning save opportunity for Carlos Martinez, as we thought about. So that tells you they're not going to Hicks. Norris is unavailable. And it's Carlos Martinez time.
Well, you get him in there and you see what he can do. And like you said, sometimes the situation just presents itself one way or the other.
Yeah. And this late in the season, too, you know, sometimes you manage for tomorrow or the series. But with this amount of time, so few games left, you need wins.
Yeah,
You're tied in the final wild card spot. You got to go for it.
Well, you got that right. Like I said, you know, you might be out with Jordan not wanting to use him because of the fact that he threw 34 pitches, and you got a guy with a blister, but you just got plenty of guys down there with rest, so you just got to do what you got to do. And one thing you do have in your favor is you have plenty of quality guys down there to get guys out. So I don't think he really is in too much of a bind. It's just go back to that experience factor. Who do you want to use and what part? And what kind of experience do you have down there?
Munoz at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler O'Neill will pinch hit for Dakota Hudson. O'Neill at the on-deck circle. And the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike on Jairo Munoz. Cardinals picked up 3 in the first. Braves got 2 in the third. St. Louis with 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. They had a 6-2 lead. Braves then with 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th and another in the 7th. The 2-1 hit out of play, 2-2, and Munoz a very good 2-strike hitter. We'll see his approach here. Swing and a miss. And there's 2 away. Reminder that St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Ford, going further so you can. And by St. Louis Children's Hospital and Washington University Physicians, Guardians of Childhood. Along with Jim Edmonds and Erica Weston, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and here's the pinch hitter, Tyler O'Neill. One-0 pitch taken up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. O'Neill 2 for 14 as a pinch hitter this year. And one of those 2 hits, a home run. That was at Dodger Stadium in the 8th inning of Game 2 of that series into right center. Three and 1. Matt Carpenter on deck. And he walked him, a 2-out walk. There's Matt Carpenter with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Walked and scored back in the first. 0 for 3 on the night. Twice flied out to left, also grounded out to second. Shift on the right side of the infield. And strike 1.
Another interesting at bat here for Matt Carpenter against a tough lefty. Struggling a little bit as of late. We saw the numbers for the month. See how this doesn't change his approach.
Inside corner, didn't like it. One ball and 2 strikes. O'Neill, the runner at first base. And the 1-2 pitch to Carpenter. Gets away. Tyler O'Neill now to second. He'll stop there. That is a huge run out there potentially for the Cardinals when you're thinking about extending Carlos Martinez, who pitched yesterday. And you're hoping and thinking he gets the final 6 outs tonight after the wild pitch there.
Yeah, that second run obviously allows for one mistake to be made at any given time, and a 2-run cushion obviously a lot better than a 1-run cushion, but mostly for those reasons right there.
Of room, as you might imagine, on the left side of the infield. Inciarte shading him the opposite way in the outfield, so big gap in right center. And a 2-2 pitch. Harrison Bader at the on-deck circle. You got to wonder if Carpenter gets on, does Brian Snitker then go to his bullpen and have the righty come in to face Harrison Bader? You would think that's probably the direction they go.
Just saying.
And we'll do it again. Ball 4.
Great at bat by Matt Carpenter right there. Bought off a couple pitches, took a couple good pitches, worked his way on base.
7 pitch at bat. So Bader against the lefty, and if you're a Cardinal, you're saying this is the matchup you want. They don't go with a righty here. Against lefties, a .301 average. Dan Winkler is throwing. I understand Biddle has been a guy that you've relied on at times this year, but the numbers are what they are with Bader at the plate. You're going lefty-righty here, and half your farm system sitting out in the bullpen.
Half your farm system. You gotta have a righty out there somewhere.
Inside 3-0. Now he does have reverse splits, and I understand that too. That's part of it. where he's very good against right-handed batters. But for Bader, this is the matchup you want. He might be taking a strike, if not two.
Definitely taking a strike if it's me, or if I'm ordering the hitter to take one. I'm definitely making him take a pitch here.
He's swinging and hits it down the left field line. It is hooking foul. They turned him loose.
And that's why you and I are sitting up here and not down there.
To Bader. And Bader hits a high drive into deep left. Track walk in! Three-run homer! Bader! Go with the lefty. You got burned.
Well, if you say it enough, eventually it'll come true, right? Nice call there, Danny. It's a big home run for Harrison Bader right there. Not sure about making that pitch 2 times in a row, and that's the thing. This level, you can't throw the 3-0 and the 3-1 pitch in the exact same spot. Got to be the hair.
And again, I understand the reverse splits, but Bader against left-handed pitching, I'll take my chances. Now the chance of let's go Cardinals with some of the Braves fans leaving with a 4-run St. Louis lead.
I always found it pretty fascinating. After as much success as the Braves have had here for so long, that when they first started coming here to play, how many Cardinal fans were here in Atlanta?
Tons.
That's crazy.
Yeah. A ball and 2 strikes and Paul DeYoung, who's homered tonight. Boy, did the Cardinals need that. What a lift. Comes at the perfect time from Harrison Bader.
Good shot in the arm.
A strikeout of DeYoung, but the Cardinals do some damage with a 3-run homer. Biddle to face Bader. Lefty-righty matchup. And Harrison Bader made him pay. 4-run lead, and Carlos Martinez, or Chevy, called to the pin. So the Cardinals asking Carlos Martinez to potentially get the final 6 outs in this game. And there's strike 1 to Ender Inciarte. It's be one of those times, and I know it's cliche, but boy, you'd love to see him be efficient, quick, a lot of strikes. Two and one.
I was watching him warm up, and he didn't throw a whole lot of strikes in warm up. So I'm hoping that he can flip that around and bear down and, like you said, be efficient.
3 and 1. And he walked him, and with a 4-run lead, boy, this is the last thing you want, anything with walks. And the catcher, Tyler Flowers, leadoff walk to Inciarte. We know about the ground balls that he can get. This would be a double play candidate for sure. When he's right, he's got that great late action, good sinker, and ground ball after ground ball.
Gets a lot of ground balls because he has that good slider, good cutter, good sinker, and the changeup. Everything kind of goes down.
Popped up. Carpenter in foul territory for out number 1. Here's Dansby Swanson. Swanson has grounded into 5 double plays this year. Not many for this late in the season. And the 0-1 pitch. Inside, it backs up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swanson is flied out, struck out, and grounded out. Lucas Duda, the former Met, at the on deck circle. The 1-1 pitch. Good pitch in on his hands. 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. Two pitch, way outside. slowly hit, and Martinez, now Carpenter. And I'm not sure if Carlos touched it. If he did, it goes 1-3.
For those of you who are scoring at home.
Oh, man.
Some serious chaos going out there today. This is what you're talking about, getting in your kitchen. Oh, Matt was yelling, let it go, but definitely don't want to let that ball go. You want to get that ball before it spins foul. Get that out.
And it is scored 1-3.
Maybe Matt was just calling him off so he could get it himself.
Lucas Duda. 14 home runs this year. Inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. He was acquired from Kansas City for the ever popular player to be named later. Also came along with cash considerations. The 2-0 pitch.
Ooh, filthy changeup right there. Look at the spin, the ball dropped off the table.
A swing and a miss. Ooh, just missed. And a 3-2. Carlos thought he had strike 3, and so did Yadier Molina. When he holds the ball like that, he's saying, you know what, I think you may have missed it. Let's take a look.
A pretty good pitch. It looks like it goes around the plate, but that is too close to take.
This is one of those times where you have talked about Jimmy, where Yadi is like having an extra coach out there and knows when to take that time to maybe settle a player down, in this case a pitcher, and Mike Maddox knows that as well. Hey, refocus, go get this guy.
Yeah, you definitely got to be careful. You can't lose it here, and mentally on the mound especially. And Yadi's going to have a conversation right here going back with the umpire, telling him he wants that pitch. And I think it's sometimes you can really literally tell the umpire, hey, I want that pitch. That pitch is a good pitch. It's on the plate at some point. You cannot call that a ball. You don't have to say, I wish that's a strike argument back and forth. Literally tell them that you want to have that pitch.
Here's Ronald Acuna, and a base hit into center field. Bader, his throw to the cutoff man Carpenter. Run scores, and that makes it 9-6, and the tying run will come to the plate. Here's Ozzie Albies. And a ball down in the dirt. 2-0. Well, you got 22 pitches, and you're asking Martinez still to get 4 outs after pitching yesterday. You got to wonder if Mike Schild is going to get somebody up here shortly. May have to. Only threw 8 pitches yesterday. That are curious about that conversation, which more than likely is in Spanish, Paul DeYoung speaks Spanish. He's made it a point to learn that. So the tying run at the plate, Albies, has got 22 home runs. And the 2-0 pitch from Carlos Martinez instead of pickoff, and a risky play.
Yeah, that ball's close to hitting Lucas Duda, and if that does, that moves both runners up. That's when the wheels start to fall off. Gotta be careful.
2-0 pitch. 2-1. Martinez season high in relief, 40 pitches, did that at Washington. Other than that, has not pitched over 21 in relief. Runners at first and second, 2 balls, 1 strike. Freeman on deck.
This is the tough thing about being a closer. Talk about guys don't want to make the last out. Guys, all of a sudden now the urgency there is more intense. The last couple innings, game is now on the line and going to make the pitcher work. Where maybe in the beginning of the game, trying to hit a few pitches that they don't need to go after. They don't take as many pitches. They're not into the game yet. They might swing at a cutter or a slider off the plate. Here, they're not going to do that. They'll be more selective and try to make the pitcher work.
He got him. Albies. He got Martinez. And now Freeman comes to the plate with the game on the line. 5 for 9. Double and a home run. And this might be your ball game right here. Nothing easy down the stretch for the Cardinals. Strike 1. Good changeup by Martinez. Pitch number 28 of the inning. Cardinals now with activity in their pen. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's John Brebbia. The 1-1. Hit the other way, and a foul ball. 1-2, and Martinez working quickly here against Freddie Freeman. He's not messing around. Can he put him away? The 1-2. Taken high, 2-2, and that pitch at 98 from Carlos. The 2-2 pitch. And they're off with this next pitch. 3-2. 31 pitches and counting. The next by Martinez. He got him! A strikeout of Freeman, who slams his bat down. And the Braves will strand. The bases loaded. 9-6 St. Louis. And Al brings up a very good point. You know, pitching last night, 30-plus pitches, 31, I believe. 32 by Martinez. Our Chevy call to the pen. This is by Vizcaíno. To see where Mike Gill wants to go in the bottom of the ninth.
I think it's interesting, too. You think about Brebbia being down there, and he hasn't thrown in a few days either. Was wondering, maybe talking to Mike Schilt later about why not using Brebbia in the 8th and then Martinez in the 9th. But clearly he wants Martinez to finish this game. But now all of a sudden you got to think about, you're right, how many pitches is he going to let him throw? Brebbia hasn't pitched in 3 days.
Well, certainly you would have to think Martinez then is off limits the next couple of days. It's a very short turnaround after the game tomorrow night, but you're in the moment. You're worried about right now.
Today's the day you got to win.
1 ball, 1 strike on Marcell Ozuna. 1-2 the count. Just heard a plane going by. That's Dobbins Air Force Base, which is not too far away. Could have been Jimmy's private jet. You never know.
Nowhere to go.
So it's not your jet.
Not my jet. That was a little close. It was a little loud.
Yes, it was.
Definitely didn't sound like a regular airplane.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Marcell Ozuna. And the 2-2. Got him. spring training a part of your 2019 vacation plan? Get away for a weekend or a stay a week. Cardinals Vacations provides everything you need, including hotel, game tickets, and much more. Visit cardinals.com/vacations or call 1-800-892-7687. One out and nobody on. Jed Jerko at the plate. One caught the home plate umpire. Seems to be okay.
How about that ball bounced straight up in the air, and Jerko turned around and caught it.
I want to remind everybody again that this weekend, Saturday, listed as a night game, is not. It's a noon start. So if you have a ticket, make sure you know it's at noon this Saturday to accommodate national television. Want to get the word out. Big crowds expected this weekend with San Francisco coming to St. Louis. And the 1-0 pitch to Jed Jerko. 1 ball and 1 strike. Markakis, Camargo, Inciarte due up for the Braves, looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th. And Jed hits it down the left field line. It's a fair ball and hops over the wall for a ground rule double. So 1-out double for Jed Jerko in this 9-6 ball game.
Just another 97-mile-an-hour fastball that he turns around and puts down the left field line.
Yadier Molina with 1 out and a runner at second base. And Molina shoots it out to deep right center. And it's gone. He tried to deke him. It doesn't matter. It's over the wall in right center. Molina, 2-run homer. And now they've got even more insurance. His 18th of the year. Limping around the bases. You can walk if you want to. The Cardinals have opened it up. It's now 11-6.
He does a good job driving this ball. He's had a tough day today. Missed a couple pitches, and he didn't miss this one. The ball just kept on going, didn't it?
You could see Inciarte too. He tried to deke Jed Jerko. He knew he wasn't going to get there, so played it as if he was going to catch it, and it went over the wall. And it's now an 11-6 St. Louis lead. And with a 5-run lead, you got to think that Martinez is out of the game now. And there's a base hit for Colton Wong into right center. 3rd hit of the night, and he's a triple away from the cycle. Philly and Washington both lost, so Atlanta's magic number has been reduced to 7, regardless of what happens tonight. Dodgers are up 2-0 in the 3rd against Colorado. Yadier Molina has hit 18 home runs. 17 of the 18 have been on the road. He's tied with Benji Molina for the most home runs in the Molina family.
I was wondering where you were going to go with that one.
He's got 144. That ball gets away, so Wong advancing to second base. Matt Adams, the on-deck circle. Remember, the Cardinals had originally traded Matt here to Atlanta and then went to Washington and then back to St. Louis. It's a pass ball charged against Flowers. One out, runner at second base. One ball and one strike. Way out in front, 1-2. And a fly ball that's hit out of play. One ball and two strikes on Jairo Munoz. The 2-2 with Wong at second base. The strikeout of Munoz. Out number 2. And the batter will be Big City Matt Adams. At one point, Matt Adams was swinging the bat so well for the Atlanta Braves after he was traded. They put Freddie Freeman at third base to keep his bat in the lineup. Had very good numbers with Atlanta. 2 outs and a runner at second base. And strike one.
Another one of those guys that's still working, trying to perfect his craft. You can see how he's gotten a little bit softer with his hands, trying to stay more balanced. He's got a really short swing for a big guy, and sometimes even too short. He's really been working on driving the ball up the middle. Just like how quiet he's becoming at the plate.
Hits it out of play. Matt behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss, so Adams strikes out, and that'll send us to the bottom of the 9th. But Yadier Molina with an opposite field home run. 18 home runs this year. 11-6. plays of the game.
Some kind of pitches right here. He really works with Freddie Freeman. See, made one mistake right there, got away with it because of the velocity, but in, out, up, and then the slider. The deadly slider to get him.
You don't see that very often from Freddie Freeman. This guy that keeps his cool for the better part of the season.
Well, he missed a fastball right down the middle, and then he swung at ball 4. So, yeah, sometimes as a veteran hitter, you know better than swinging at pitches out of the zone, especially right there with the game on the line. So that was a tough at bat on both sides, and fortunately Carlos won that one.
John Brebbia into pitch. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Had a very detailed, in-depth conversation with John Brebbia on the flight here to Atlanta, Jimmy, about his beard. And I asked him, how do you keep it clean? And 3 of the 7 days of the week, shampoo and conditioner. He said it's becoming a nuisance trying to eat at this part of the season. But does groom properly, always trying to clean it. He's got a special deal for the beard that keeps it clean, and he said food can be a little bit of a problem, but for the most part everything's okay. And that's the kind of in-depth
conversation you had in an hour-and-a-half flight.
Yeah, that was about it. He's a character. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Said it started in independent ball. And for fans that don't know, you probably have heard the story by now, but he was in independent baseball when he was found by the Cardinals, and what a find it is. I mean, a guy that's throwing 95 to 98, good slider, and very versatile. He's been up and down this year, and here he is with a 5-run lead. 11-6 our score. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and truly one of the great beards in baseball. Really in sports. Said some of the other guys on the team were growing out their beards, so begins about week 1 of spring training, and he will shave it 1 week after the season. And that is your John Brebbia beard update. Here's the 3-2. Spoiled by Markakis. Leadoff walk. Leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 9th, and now Camargo. Camargo is single and a run scored tonight. And the 0-1 pitch by John Brebbia. Just a bit inside. One and 2. If the Cardinals can hold on, they go to 83 and 68. Drop the Braves to 83 and 67. Braves magic number at 7. Both Philly and Washington losing. We told you that the Dodgers have a lead against Colorado. That's pulled foul.
It's the third ball he's hit like that tonight that would end up behind him.
He had the one hit down the right field line that was almost a home run against Dakota Hudson. Austin Gomber, Anibal Sanchez tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 6 St. Louis time. And the 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Inciarte with one out and a runner at first base. 11-6 our score. First pitch, a strike. 2 singles, a walk, and a pair of runs scored by Inciarte.
It's a nice weapon right there by John Brebbia, being able to throw that get me over slider when everyone's looking for the fastball to hit first pitch.
There it is again, 0-2. Fastball outside, 1-2. He struck him out. And the Braves down to their final out.
This pitch right here. Look at him stick that. The ball is borderline on the edge of the plate, but yet Yachty's got his body out there. Jimmy making sure when he catches it that he's sticking it.
You know, think about him running the bases, even running on the home run, and then getting down in that position with a sore hamstring as much as he has. He's beat up here this stretch run, but out there playing.
You got to play.
Give him a lot of credit. Got to play, but easier said than done.
Yep.
Oh, 1 pitch now to Flowers. 0-2. 0-2 pitch to Tyler Flowers. Taken high. 1-2. One-two pitch, struck him out, and the Cardinals take game 1. 11-6. Michaelis now 16-4. The Cardinals a big win and 11 to go. Updated wild card standings. We'll keep an eye on the scoreboard late tonight here in Atlanta. The Cardinals take game 1 of the series. Yachty a key home run late.
I'm gonna get
Bader a big home run for St. Louis to provide some insurance. 11-6 the final. The post-game show comes your way next.